How do you reckon M. Night Shyamalan came up with, like, the concept for this movie? Because I think that he must have just taken a really, really long bath and then got out to see all his fingers and toes wrinkled and thought, oh, I've got an idea here.
From the hotel! They're so rusted!
What's happening?
Found stuff from the hotel in the sand.
Ready or not, here we come!
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and time for another episode of Luke's Reviews. On today's video, we have the newest film from M. Night Shyamalan that is sure to have plenty of twists in its tale, Old. A young family take a little vacation to a resort and decide on a day trip to a remote beach that appears to be the epitome of paradise. A couple other groups soon join them, only to discover this beach harbours a dangerous secret. For every half an hour that passes on the beach, your body will age by a year. Firstly, I want to start things off by kind of repeating the age-old adage, film is subjective. Reviews are just merely opinions, they're not facts. And if you look at M. Night Shyamalan's filmography, he is certainly a divisive filmmaker. So for Old, I know a few people that really loved it. I also know quite a few people that loathed it. All I'm saying is, love it or hate it, it is what it is. I thought Old was terrible. I really did. This did not work for me in the slightest. I thought it was a travesty. I mean, credit where it's due. Like, you've got M. Night Shyamalan, who is at least experimenting with original ideas, things that I've not seen before. They didn't work, but I've not seen it done before, because let's face it, he's a filmmaker who could have easily been snatched up and put on franchise bandwagons at this point, or kind of have studio control bearing down upon him. And the biggest compliment that I can give Old is that it's very clear that the studio didn't interfere with this film. This is very much M. Night's uncompromised vision, and just as someone who only has a very small understanding of the filmmaking process, but has that understanding, the concept of a filmmaker still being able to get across all that he wants to is very, very important. So props to him for doing that. I just thought that the vision didn't work for me. I didn't see, I guess, what M. Night wanted me to see in this film. I just thought it was a real waste of, like, so many opportunities. I mean, for starters, you've got this premise of watching your loved ones age before your very eyes and in some cases completely waste away. That should be traumatizing. That should be one of the most horrifying things you could ever experience. And yet there are way too many occasions where this group are treating it almost as if someone's got the sniffles. I also thought that there could have been a lot more insight into the terror of a parent watching their child grow instantly before their very eyes and never being able to claim back that time. Again, an amazing idea, but never expanded upon. Instead, M. Night makes some really bizarre choices for this story to veer down. Like, choices that make you sit back and think, what are you doing, M. Night? What are you doing? The biggest offender, though, of this film has to be the dialogue. M. Night has a tendency to write most of his films, and in the past he's proven that he can be a very talented screenwriter. But I found in kind of recent years, since we've had this Shyamalan-assance, I think people have referred to it as, this comeback for Shyamalan, his dialogue has just really been off the ball, and this film is such a severe indicator of that. He's still got a definite creative flair behind the camera, but wow, some of this dialogue is painful. at points, and lines are said that you would probably expect to find in like a B-movie on sci-fi featuring sharktopusses.
We have to get the resort people before they leave. I think we will all have to leave this beach.
Wait, why? They left already.
And what makes it worse is that because the dialogue is so poorly written, not even this talented ensemble that Shyamalan has at his disposal can do anything with it. Really gifted performers like Gael Garcia Bernal, Vicky Krieps, Rufus Sewell, Thomasin McKenzie, Alex Wolff, they can't latch onto anything because there's no real character for them to explore. It's clear that Shyamalan isn't really directing on how the actor should perform this dialogue, so a lot of it feels like first takes or even script readings in some instances. It's really bad. Like, the performances here are terrible, but that's because they've been given nothing good to work with. And of course, it being an M. Night film, there is a twist at the end. It's not a twist that will make you see the whole film in a brand new light. It's just an answer or an explanation to something that was playing on your mind, perhaps. It goes on for way too long, and it didn't feel like it was earned. Almost as if Shyamalan crowbarred the twist in there at the last minute because he forgot that it's basically a staple of his career now. You know what? I think for his next film, I'd actually really rate it if the twist ending was that there was no twist. Old is one of those films where you may have had a great idea on paper, but the longer development went on, the more you realized that the ship was slowly sinking, and by the time the film was released, the ship had hit the bottom of the ocean floor. I will always give filmmakers my attention when going for something original, but boy, Old was a tough pill to swallow, and something I think your time and money could definitely be saved on. Overall, I'm going to give Old a 2 out of 10. Anyway, guys, those were my thoughts on Old. Let me know, have you had a chance to see the film yet? What did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And my question to you, do you think we're still living in the Shyamalan-essence? Is he still considered one of, like, the most interesting filmmakers out there? He's definitely the most polarizing. But has he started to dip back into his old ways? For me, kind of. I didn't mind The Visit. I thought Split was okay. Really didn't rate Glass. And yeah, Old, not a fan. But as always, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to click that like button, and if you aren't already, click that subscribe button too.